Brenden. I think the sound is working. Let me do a quick sound check here. Sound check. The delay on the stream, I'm using my phone as my monitor here. The delay is kind of annoying. So hold on. Or if anyone is tuned in, let me know if the sound is okay. I got it up on my phone now. There we go. All right. I think we're good. Let's pick up where we left off. So hello to any of my new followers out there. It looks like I've gone from 0 to 2 followers on Twitch, so that's pretty cool. I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch and also Mixer. However, Mixer seems to kind of be a bit of a ghost town, at least for programming content for the time being. But who knows? Maybe it'll change. Kind of adjusted some of the settings on my stream, encoding and everything, so I hope it's okay. If it's not, please let me know. Doge is happy. She's got a toy. Let me check on her. Yeah, she's good. Gave her a, let me show you. Gave her a, it's a buffalo horn. Looks like this. It's kind of big. She likes it a lot though. She just likes to chew on it, right? You like it, don't you? Here she is. You can see her. Here you go. There's your horn. You gotta grab it. Grab on. It's a bit big for her. She can hardly even hold on to it. All right. Put the little camera back in its little spot. So I wanna continue working on the little Rust, React, TypeScript project I've been working on. But before I jump into that, I wanted to talk about what I might work on next. And I was thinking, pretty popular subject, it seems, in thing a lot of people talk about regarding like software development and tech jobs and all that is how to actually get a job in tech. You know, either a startup or like any kind of tech company. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's all the same thing, really. Anyway, getting a job isn't easy, and one of the necessary evils, I would say, maybe evil is a strong word, but it's unpleasant. One of the necessary unpleasantries is the issue of having to do technical interviews. Technical interviews generally suck. Now, one moment, I just realized I have my sound settings probably not quite set up right. Let's see, I have to change that output. There we go. I think we're good now. Actually, sorry, I just, one moment. Oh, okay. I was wondering why I have headphones here, I'm not wearing them, but I was wondering why the sound wasn't going to them, and I see now it's because they're not actually connected. They were not turned on. Let me turn that on, and it's still connecting. It might be conflicting with my laptop right now, I think is the problem. I bet I left Bluetooth on my laptop, possibly. Let me check. Yeah, I did. Okay, that's why it's not working. All right. I had to turn the Bluetooth off on my laptop. These are Bluetooth. Well, I mean, sometimes I connect them with USB, but most of the time I use them wirelessly. And if they're connected to my laptop, then like they can only be connected to one computer at a time, and I have two. I have a laptop and I have an iMac. I usually use the iMac for streaming for this kind of stuff because the encoding is a bit heavy duty, I guess, and my laptop doesn't really have the juice necessary to encode the stream, so you can get some crystal clear bits coming at you, high quality X264. All right, well, this is fun. So yeah, so one thing I was thinking of doing is I thought it'd be fun to go through cracking the coding interview problems, which is interesting because I kind of detest having to do these silly problems. I think they're really goofy, but you know, it's just a necessary thing. So I have a copy of the book. Actually, I was given this by TripleByte, and I don't think I've even opened this book. It is currently being used as a stand for my, it's currently being used as a stand for my webcam. I've been putting it right up here, so yeah. All right, let me fix my webcam now. It's all wobbly. There we go. I think that's flattish, flat enough. The horizon. There's no level in this camera, so I don't know if it's actually, it's not a big deal. Okay, so yeah, I think it would be fun to go through these cracking the coding interview problems. So maybe when I finish with this Rust, React, TypeScript demo app thing, then I will build a, or maybe I'll just do like a once or twice a week stream where I'll go through each one of the problems in the books, and we'll just bang it out, hammer out the code on the keyboard. This is my keyboard here. I just use the Mac, this one, space gray colored. I also have the, what do you call this, trackpad thing, whatever. I like this. I do have like the, what do they call it, the magic mouse. This guy, it's really dirty, really dusty. But I basically never use this. I generally prefer the pad thing. I think I'm just used to that now from having used a MacBook for a number of years, and no, it's just what feels right, feels natural. There's some issues with the touchpad. It's not quite as precise generally, which is kind of annoying. Another problem is like sometimes when you're trying to click or unclick, like if you're clicking and dragging or something, the cursor will move a little bit when you do the actual click, like the press or release, which is kind of annoying. If you're doing something like in Photoshop or whatever, and you're trying to like make a precise adjustment, it can be pretty annoying. But you know, that's a small complaint. That's a general problem with the mouse, I would say. Even if you use like one of these, you still have the same problem. So that doesn't solve it. Anyway, so let me switch over to a different view here. I'm trying to use the global keyboard shortcuts in OBS, and it seems to work sometimes and then like not work other times. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong exactly. There's got to be some sort of magic involved. All right, so I haven't touched this thing since yesterday. One thing I'd like to do is actually just grab the link for the YouTube video from yesterday and add that into the list here. So let's do that. I'm kind of ashamed, honestly, that I used the edit feature on GitHub. Like, I quite often go into GitHub and like just click the edit button if I want to change the README or something. It's not really the best way to do things, but it's super convenient, and you know, why not? Okay. Man, the YouTube dashboard, the UX is just so bad. It's so unbelievably slow. All right, add a little commit message. What are we doing here? Add link to part 5 video. I don't know if anyone's ever going to actually watch these videos, but I'm just going to keep putting them up there anyway, and maybe they will. Whoops, I did not mean to click that, or I did not mean to type that. All right, part 5, that should go to YouTube. That should be the video. Yeah, cool. Oh, I should go smash that like button. Look at that, 2 other people liked the video. Now I have liked it. Sweet. All right. Hacker News, close that. I spend way too much time reading Hacker News. It's not really that interesting or valuable, but I do it anyway. I'm gonna grab my tea. I left my tea over here. Let me grab that. Actually, I never poured it. I boiled the water, but I forgot to pour the water in the cup so it could start steeping. I like to drink tea. I've been pretty into tea these days. I still drink coffee, but I've been enjoying tea recently for some reason. All right, where are we with our thing? So, from what I remember, the last thing that I did was, I'm trying to switch the stream, and yeah, the global hotkeys not working. Why are they not working? Let me go into the OBS settings here. Hotkeys. Yeah, I don't know why they're not working. You know what? I'm just not going to worry about it right now. If I do this, yeah, that works. But as soon as I do that, yeah, it stops working. I wonder if the issue is the terminal. No. All right, whatever, doesn't matter. Computers. That's just the way it goes with computers. All right, so let me pull that change I just did on GitHub. Should have all my commits in there. Cool. So last time we got the back end and the front end working, if I believe, or if I recall correctly. I need to make this actually big enough that you can read it on the screen. I realized last time that font wasn't really readable. All right, I think that's good enough. It's kind of annoying how in iTerm 2 when you like resize one of the if you resize one of the tabs, it doesn't apply that same size to the other tab. But anyway, there we go. All right, we got our back end. Let's just run the back end. Cargo run. It's running. Let's make sure it still works. Oh man, open another tab. Hold on, let me just change the profile settings. I should just do that. Why don't I just do that? Profiles. Let me add a new profile. Profile. Hold on. Is there a way to delete that? I just want to make sure it's actually like, yeah, duplicate profile. I want a copy of that one, and then let me rename this profile. Hello, Andrea. I'm glad somebody is enjoying the tunes. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for your lovely friendly message. I'm also, whoops, not Twitter, Twitch. Because I'm streaming to multiple platforms simultaneously. I'm not actually sure how well it's working. I think it's working. Looks okay. But if it's not, let me know so I can correct it. I haven't really used Twitch before. Yesterday was the first day I used Twitch, so I'm still kind of learning how it works. Anyway, let's make this my streaming profile. Let's change the text and make the font. How big? Profile, streaming. How big should the font be? Why is it not working? 15? Bigger. 16? 17? 18? I think that's probably good. Does that font look good? Oh yeah, this is a Mac. Let's just do a little test here. My terminal's messed up. Size is messed up. Let's just do a get v1 meals. Is that good? Does that look readable? I think that font size is okay. I'm trying to look on my monitor. I'm monitoring the stream on my phone down here, so you can see right there. That's my my stream monitor. I think it's okay. Yeah, it looks readable enough. I think we can go a little bit bigger. Let me just go up to 19. Okay, that should be good for anyone to follow along. And that's that. Let me just close these guys. Close that. Close that. And then, whoops. Wrong keys. Oh man, how do I switch it to open in this one? I want it. Do I have to just change the default shortcut key? No. Other actions. Let me just set this one as the default profile for right now. And I think that means when I open a new tab, yes, success. All right, ready to rock and roll. All right, let's go in here. Let's run the backend, foodie, backend, cargo run. This is running. Now let's go and run the front end. C dev rust foodie front end. What do we have happening in here? Parcel index.html. Cool. Should be able to open this, and now we can add a new meal. We can say delicious piece of cake. On like a slice of cake. Yeah, save. Boom. There is our new meal. Timestamp. It's all good. Looks good. Let me make it a bit bigger so you can see. Too big. There we go. It's the right size. So that's the basic app. It mostly works. I'm not super happy with the way the code looks on the front end right now, and there are a few things I don't like about it. So one thing, which I just noticed right now, so if you click add meal and you type in the meal and you add, this form doesn't go away. So the result should be that when this completes successfully, it should just blow this form away, right? So let's do that. We also could really use some error handling or whatever, and I'm really lazy, so right now I'm just going to use alert error. So basically anywhere I see an error thing in here, I'm just gonna add an alert. Alert is just a browser function that will literally alert the user, whoever is watching looking at your web thing. It'll literally alert them with a modal dialog that something didn't work. So I just stop the back end, and if I go here and I go add new meal and I click save, it should give me an alert. There we go. It pops up a little dialog. Failed. It says failed to fetch. So that's cool. That's basically what I want. Yeah, beautiful. It also kind of sucks, but you know, this is really not something I'm going to worry too much about right now. All right, what I do need to add in here, I'm going to add to this add meal action is a callback. So this is the right way to TypeScript function type. How do you type a function? I just want a function with no arguments. What is compare function? Function type literals. Okay. Let's just try that. Function. Sorry. Callback. Can I do that? No. Why does that not? Why is it not like that? Compare function. Oh, that's the return value. I don't care about the return value. Return. Can I say return null? Returns null. Yeah, sweet. All right. So this method now takes a callback, and what I want to do is call that callback at the end of my response. So yeah, what I would do is say callback, just call it there, or call it here. So basically, if there's a response, then call back. If there's no response, call the callback anyway. Actually, no. Let's not call the callback in the error case. Let's only call the callback when this thing is successful. So what I'm going to do here in a minute is I'm going to set up so that this callback, when it's called, it will close or hide the form dialog. So we go back over to the view. Realize the font should be bigger here so you can read it. Go back over to the view and look for call to add new meal. Cool. So I'm going to now also pass a function which is going to be this dot hide form, let's say, and then create that function. Oh wait, sorry, that's the wrong. My bad. It should be up here. Yes. Okay. This dot hide form, and then add this hide form function here, and this is also, this should have the action annotated. initialization. This is going to be an action. So we'd say, let's say hide form. It doesn't take any arguments, and it's just going to say this dot show meal form equals false. Argument of type is not assignable. Void. Okay, it should return void, not null. Null is not a type. It is a value. All right. So that's basically that. Refresh. So now if I try this, that did not work. Inspect. What do we do wrong here? No re-up meal. Let's just add a console.log hiding. Oops. Hiding form. Yeah. Save. Hiding form. Right. That. So the function is getting called, but it is not actually. This is actually not updating the form, and why is that not happening? Okay, this add new meal. I think it's because I need to actually bind the class instance to this callback, and I'm not doing that because I'm just basically passing the function. So what I should do here is say pass a function like that way. So I'm basically creating a little lambda here. My lambda is just this empty function, and that just calls this function within or with this instance of the class. All right, add new meal, blurb, save, boom, that's it. Now the form is gone. All right, what happens if we do that but we kill the backend? This should keep the form here, save, sweet. Now I get an alert and the form is still there because it didn't actually work. Although I'm getting 2 alerts, and I think that's because I'm alerting on two different outcomes from the add meal call. So I'm alerting if the something goes wrong with the serializing the result. I'm alerting if this throws some kind of error, or I'm also not really handling the case of what happens if the serialize fails. So I should probably do that. I'm not gonna worry about it, but probably should. So like I would say else. Yeah, let's just do it. Else, basically, if error is something not null, just alert with the error. Console.log error. Yeah. Okay, good enough. This is very lazy error handling, but you know, I don't think I need to have these because it should bubble up. Let's just, I think this and this are basically, I think I'm not totally sure, but I think response.catch is just like a catch-all error handler on the REST call, and it should just kind of trap all the possible error outcomes. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's just test that really quick. Make sure that's, whoops, gotta start the back end. Those alert dialogues are super annoying. Okay, kill the back end and then try this again. Blurb, save, failed fetch. Okay, cool. We only got 1 alert that time, so we're good. We are good. We're good. We're good here. Good job, team. way to go. Way to go, team. Really appreciate everything. Really appreciate all you're doing out there. Good times, good stuff. Right, so I think the only other thing I really want to do is some housekeeping type stuff, which is that I want to just like clean up this CSS, the way I'm specifying these class names and stuff. I think the best thing to do would be to just create a React component for each one of these stylings. Not for all of them, but for the ones that are like repeated over and over, right? Like I have these labels, they all look the same. I also have all these like table row, table data, all that stuff can just be pulled out, basically. Oops. And I think that'll look a lot better. So let's just start by replacing these table rows. So I'm going to literally just create another React component up here. This doesn't need any state. This is going to be table row. I'm not going to export that. Okay, very basic component, and then I'm just going to say render. And my render is just going to return table row, and then this is going to be this dot props dot children. So this dot props dot children, this basically takes anything that you pass. I'll show you in a moment. Anything that you pass to this React component in inside of the element kind of start and end, and it just like pops that in there. So what I'll do now is I'll just like take this class name, boop, stick that right, whoops, what did I just do? That children, okay, class name, there we go, table row, class name, children. So I should, in theory, be able to replace this table row like that with my own custom table row, and wherever else I have these table row guys, I'll just use mine. And you know, this is not something that's super important that you really need to do. It's just like keeping the code tidy and applying some DRY. DRY, or dry, is an algorithm for don't repeat yourself, and it is something that is very important, in my opinion, in sorry, just a moment, in software development, and it's something that a lot of people either overlook or just generally don't do well, but it's something that I think is really important. So, you know, there's always an opportunity to apply DRY every time you find yourself repeating something 3, 4, 5 times, right? Like if you have the same string of code, just to give you an example, like look right here, I have this table header, th table header, and I have the class name here, and it's just repeated, like these are just identical 3 times. So this right here, because these are just some arbitrary hard-coded values, this is an opportunity for something to go wrong, right? And so this should just be pulled out and specified once in one place, and then this th element can just be replaced with my own. I'm going to call it table head element. So let's component, React component. So let's add that up here. Table head. I don't want to put. Maybe I'll call it table header. Whatever. Naming is a really hard problem. I'm certainly not the first one to say this, but you know, I have definitely experienced the difficulty in naming. Naming things well is really hard to do, and table header. It's often really overlooked. People don't necessarily put the effort that they need to, or that they often don't put the effort that they need to, or they should, into naming things and naming things well. So just adjusting the webcam a bit. Not sure if that works, but anyway, names really should be descriptive in a way that is obvious in terms of, you know, what they're about, and should make it really easy for people to figure out what's going on. All right, so let's add another one, which will be my table data. Another component here. Table header, table data. This one's going to be TD. Just copy these guys. All right, there's my new TD. And then just replace all of these. One thing that I really don't like about VS Code is that, oh, actually it works now. Oh, interesting. For a while there was no, it doesn't work. All right, so if you can see down here in the very bottom kind of center of the screen, right next to where it says my name on the VS Code bar, I'm typing in a regular expression, doing s/td/table-data/g3. The number 3 at the end there is really important. That's basically like a vim command. I'm telling VS Code to replace like apply this replacement on this line and the next two, like 3 lines. However, that doesn't actually work in VS Code, which is a real bummer, because it should. Oh, what did I just do? Table. Great, I need to fix that. You can, however, do like the find and replace thing, replace. But like, I don't know, this just sucks because you have to like click around and stuff. You don't. There are keyboard shortcuts, but it's just not as good. It's like, in my opinion, a text editor should require no clicking. You shouldn't have to use the mouse, right? Like I have to like hover over these things and try to figure out which button it is that does what I want it to do. And then like, you know, I don't know, it's just extremely inefficient way to do anything. Oh, I missed one. Table data. Anyway, text editors should not require mouse interaction, in my opinion. The best IDEs or editors are ones that you can drive entirely with the keyboard. This This is the most efficient way to interact with a computer right here, this guy. There's no better way than this thing to work with a computer. It is the best input device that has ever been invented. You have 10 fingers. 10 fingers. Well, most people have 10 fingers. Not everyone is maybe lucky enough to have all their fingers, but you know, you probably have at least 8. If you've lost 2, you've probably still got 8, and 8 fingers is just way more efficient than like one of these guys where like you're like moving a little pointer around on the screen and trying to like aim at stuff, which is just a much worse way to interact with the machine. Anyway, learn to use the keyboard. If you don't, learn to use the command line. These things are so powerful. You'll be way more productive. All right, so I've cleaned that stuff up. It looks good. I think it's all right. Essentially, all I've done is pull out these class names and stuff. Cool. Which other ones can I tidy up? I can probably, like these inputs are all mostly identical, but I don't know if it's worth it to do those ones. I think for like the sake of demonstration, what I've done here is pretty good. I just like don't want to spend a ton of time doing this React stuff and, you know, beating the proverbial dead horse here. Whoops. One thing that's also annoying about VS Code is like I want like the Apple key and then the numbers to switch between tabs, but they don't do that by default. You have to use Option, Command, and then the arrow keys, which requires, you know, that requires like way more effort. It's not really great. All right, there we go. The only other thing that's not in here right now that might be worth implementing would be like a delete or edit. And for the time being, like, you know, you can always revisit this. I think for right now, I want to move on to getting to the point where you can deploy this thing. And I want to deploy it using a Docker container so that you can run it easily and set up like the Docker build and everything. I think that's more valuable than spending a lot of time in like the React like UI, CSS stuff. Personally, I don't really want to spend a whole bunch more time on that stuff. Still trying to see if I can get the global keyboard shortcuts work. Although I don't know what it is. It might be that I need to go into my system preferences and change the security settings. One moment. It just occurred to me. Privacy, accessibility. No, OBS has permissions. Let me just do some searching right now. macOS OBS keyboard shortcuts. Not working. Hotkeys not global. Looks like this is a known issue. Okay. Apparently this is a known problem. Hotkeys do not work if the window is still fully visible, but just the active window. I'll be a monkey's uncle. Prevent app nap. Should this be resource? All right, let's try that. Let's go into applications. Applications. Prevent app nap. OBS. Get info. Prevent app nap. Click that. seems to break after some time. Having close, possibly more details if I use non-modify keys. Hotkeys stop when a credential prompt is issued. Step to reproduce. Confirm hot. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's see if it works now. Switch. Did that work? No, it doesn't work. Only works when I have OBS open, at least right now. Well, whatever. That is a bummer. OBS is a pretty great piece of software, and there's a potential fix for this. Code. It might be that I have to restart OBS to apply that. I don't know. I'll deal with that. I'm not gonna do that right now. All right, so let's take a little break. When we come back, I want to continue. I want to continue this, and the next thing to do, I think, will be to focus on getting getting this thing into like a deployable state. When I say deployable, I mean let's create a Dockerfile and then set up a Docker image so we can type Docker run, and we're gonna introduce a couple of new ideas into that process. Put those things in there, and should be good. Should be cool. Hope you like it. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's take a break. Back soon. BRB. welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Had a little break there. What's next? What's the next thing? So I think it'd be really cool to play this thing in a Docker image, Docker container, and it's gonna be a little tricky. There's one trick, one thing that I hadn't fully, I haven't really got a great idea for how to fix this problem. But basically, when you run the backend, you need to initialize the database once, and the way to do that right now is to run a command with the diesel CLI. We've got a few options for how to do that. I think I'll just, oops, why did iTunes just start? Stupid thing. Yeah, we've got a few options for doing this. I think what I'll do is just provide the instructions in the README and kind of let people try and figure it out for themselves. If they can't, then they can always watch the videos, right, and see how it's done. That should be sufficient, I think. And like, I don't know, if you're ever trying to build projects like this, demos like this, there's a trade-off between making a thing realistic and sort of representative of a production environment versus making it, how do we say, making it a decent demo, right? Like for any kind of like demo or learning code, you want it to be relatively easy to run on your computer without a million different external dependencies and so on and so forth. If you start introducing a bunch of external stuff like that, it's you know, it's not great. It makes things harder. So yeah, cool. Okay, let me just switch my sound settings here. I want to listen to my background music. Make sure it sounds okay. All right. Let's do the code. Let's hide OBS. Whoops, kill my chat there. My friends, my bro buddies have very little interest in my projects, but whatever. Just keep doing my thing. If people wanna watch, they can watch. If they don't have to. All right. Hello. Just replying to a message there. Should probably not be doing that, but whatever. It's like texting and driving, but I'm coding. All right. Let's add a Dockerfile to this thing. I'm gonna add it at the top level here. Dockerfile. Let's close this. Let's open I want to open the parent directory. Yeah, here. VS Code. Open up the Dockerfile. So for this to work well, I'm going to use a feature in Docker called multi-stage build, and what that consists of is I'm going to create the components in separate build stages, which literally means like run these or like run the builds in separate containers, and then like effectively copy the result, the binaries, from one container to another. I'm doing this because we have two separate projects with like completely different dependencies. On one we have a Node.js Yarn based project, and then the other one is a Rust cargo based project. So let's build the Rust one first. Let's go over to get rid of whatever the fuck this is. Go here. Why does Docker Hub always sign me out? It's super annoying. Like, websites, don't do that. You don't need to sign me out. I'm not lending my browser out to anyone. Okay, Rust. I can probably just grab the official, whatever it is, Rust. Do they have a nightly image? Nightly, no, okay, apparently not. Rust nightly image. Nightly and nightly slim. Nightly slim is identical to that of the slim taking the official image, except that the nightly toolchain is updated via Rust up. Let's use that. Okay, so our first stage of the build is going to be, whoops, I didn't copy the whole image name. All right, so from Rustling, Rust, Nightly Slim, this is the tag and this is the name of the image. And I'm going to say as, and then I'm going to tag this stage as like some name. We'll just call it, we'll call it backend build. So this will be the backend build stage. But, okay, and then what do we need to do in here to build this? So I'm gonna need two things out of this. I'm gonna need like the actual backend thing. So let's copy, let's say workdir / app. Okay, and then let's go copy foodie backend to /app. Good enough. And that should be all I need. And then I'm gonna say run cd /app. No, I don't need /app because that's workdir. Cd foodie backend. Okay. And I'm going to do cargo. I'm just gonna do cargo install. And then I'm going to do a cargo install diesel CLI. I need the diesel CLI in there, so let's do that. I have to start Docker. Wasn't running. Start that up. Have a sip of tea. I was going to check the Twitch. I was going to check the Twitch dashboard, but probably better not to. Docker is still starting. It takes a little while to start up the desktop Docker thing. It is literally launching a VM. So desktop Docker is basically a bunch of tooling around the official Docker client CLI stuff, and then at least running on Mac. I'm sure it's the same on Windows, but anyway, on Mac, when you run like the Docker, it boots a VM on your Mac, and then all your commands are being sent into that VM essentially. All right, let's do Docker build. Let's see how far we get so far with what we got here. So the result of this should be that I should get two Rust binaries. One is going to be the One is going to be the, I just lost my train of thought. One binary is going to be, can't cd footy backend. Why did that fail? Does this copy, when I do the copy like this, does that include the whole path? I don't know. Hold on. Let's just try changing it like this. Run Docker build again. See how far we get. Hopefully a little further. A little farther. Okay, that worked. Using cargo install to install binaries for the current package and current working directory is currently not supported. That's annoying. Okay, cargo build, that's fine. I want like the release version, right? I'm going to have to copy some of these files probably into this thing. I'm gonna worry about that later. All right, it's compiling. This looks good. Seems to be doing what I want for the most part. Let's start writing the next bit. Parcel.js Docker image. I wonder if they have like an official one. Maybe not. Let's use this one instead. It should be good. This looks outdated. All right, never mind. Let's just install or just use the node. They have like a stable or something. LTS, do they have an LTS Alpine? Let's do that. Although, what node version am I running here? 11. All right, let's just use 11 then. I'm just gonna use 11 dash, actually let's just use current dash Alpine. Good enough. I need to install some libraries in my Rust image, apparently. Let's look at what their base image is. I don't know what base image they're using. Stretch. Okay. This is a little bit messy, and it's okay. I'll just base my image on the same distro. But I don't know, it kind of sucks having to deal with like C library dependencies and stuff and Docker images. Especially if you're doing like a multi-stage build. If you like depend on different versions of C libraries and something changes, then you can get into trouble. But anyway, okay, apt-get update. Apt-get install -y, so it means like say yes, and then QQ just means quiet, make the output quiet. Libsqlite is probably what I need. Libsqlite 3, I don't know. Debian Jesse Libsqlite 3. Yeah, I think that's the name of the package. That should do it. And then because I'm running apt in here, actually I don't need to, I was gonna say I need to clean up, but I don't because this is just an intermediate stage. Doesn't really matter. All right, do a Docker build, see if that works. I can start on the next stage, actually. Yeah, I can say from, is that going to do current Alpine from node current Alpine as, let's call it frontend dash build run echo hello. I'm just doing that to make this work for right now. I'm kind of curious as to how other people manage their Twitch streams. If you are a Twitch streamer and you do that, please let me know. I'm going to try the app right now, actually on my phone. SQLite unable to locate. I think I have to do -0. Let's try that. Let's try the streaming app. There it is, activity feed. I'm looking at the app now. It's a little annoying that it doesn't show you the actual stream. That I would like to see. Status bar gives you some stuff, some info. Not a lot. And I can cast. I could cast to my TV, but it's over there behind me. Not super useful. It's kind of cool though. I do have a viewer, so shout out to my viewer, whoever's watching. It's cool that somebody's watching on Twitch. With streaming, at least, I've had better results with YouTube so far. Tend to get more walk-ins. But I only started using Twitch yesterday, so I'm in the very early, very nascent days of my Twitch streaming career. We'll see how it goes. I hope it goes well. I kind of like Twitch. I like the platform. I kind of like the idea of what it offers. Whoops! I just opened the thing on my phone. I think I messed it up. So yeah, anyway, away we go. We're still compiling here. Oh dear, apparently still do not have SQLite. Why is that happening? I'm not sure. Not sure right now. Let's put my phone back. Okay. LD cannot find. What did I do wrong? I have installed SQLite. Yeah. SQLite 3. Should definitely be in there. Let's do a little bit of debugging. So I'm just going to do a Docker run IT and then jump inside this container, bin bash. Okay, so if I do an apt-get update and an install this, I should have in user lib, I should have a lib SQLite. No, I do not. It might be in here, lib SQLite. Yeah, it's there. I wonder if the Rust compiler does not include that path in the linker flags. User lib, yeah, no, it doesn't. Rust linker LD not found. Link using the linker directly. I'm not actually that familiar with the Rust tooling at this point, so no, that's not the right LD flags. It may just be that I need to set the LD flags manually, although interesting. Rust cargo SQLite 3 LD can not found. See what other people say. There's really no point on trying to like figure this stuff out if other people have already done it and there is a sort of canonical way to solve it. Stuff's not helpful at all. Package config libdir. Yeah, what does that return? Sorry, that's pg config. That's not helpful. Wonder what happens if I install the dev package of SQLite 3-dev. Let's try that just for fun. Whoops, I need to do that in my Dockerfile. And this should make no difference. The library is there, it's just that cargo is not looking in the right path for the library. Cargo linking to C libraries. Let's see what it has to say. Linking with custom C library. Cargo, Rust C flags -L. Yeah, that makes sense, but not able to Rust C library linker path. Maybe I should try something like this. Well, actually no, because this is like a third-party package. I don't want to go changing their stuff. And I know that I can fix it by just like exporting the LD flags or something, but I don't really want to do that. I'm sure it'll work. Just it feels kind of clunky, you know? Just feels unclean. All right, let's try yeah, let's just try setting it like this. User lib, and then it's going to be the library path, which is like this here. User lib, blah, blah, blah. This is gonna fail again, so I feel like I just wasted a bunch of time trying to compile this thing. Oh well. It is a bit annoying, honestly, working with Rust when you have to like constantly recompile stuff. It's not bad if you're on your own machine and you have things cached, but you know, and there's like a bunch of situations you'll run into where you have to compile everything from scratch. Like for example, I want to create a new Dockerfile. Well, I have to recompile everything again. That's like slightly annoying because you have to spend so much time. Okay, that's super weird. It actually worked this time. MySQL client-dev. Let's just install the other libraries like Postgres and hold on, Debian Jesse lib MySQL client-dev and lib post pq-dev. Lib MySQL client-dev lib pq-dev. Let's just do that. Let's do that. Let's see how that works. Docker build, give that a shot. Shout out to my my viewers out there. Hope you're all having a good weekend, good time. Hope you're enjoying the whoopsie libMySQL. What did I mess up here? Lib MySQL client-dev. Did I spell something wrong? No, that looks right. This is in Jesse, right? Jesse libdevel lib MySQL client. The MySQL client has no installation candidate. What did I do? What have I done wrong? Why would that not be showing up? Jesse. This is not all helpful. I wonder if the... Oh, this isn't Jesse, this is Stretch. Debian Stretch, the MySQL client. Okay. Need to add default. All right, whatever. Let's try that. Let's build that. Checking the Twitch dashboard. Shout out to my 2 viewers. I don't really care that much if I peak at like 2 or 3 viewers. I'm happy with that. I'm definitely not doing this for fame or fortune. Right. What's going on? Stretch. All right. I think the update failed for some reason. Let's just rerun it. Occasionally doing like apt-get update will fail randomly. You just have to rerun it. Although it looks like this was not a random failure. This was a real failure, but why? Why is it failing? Following packages cannot be authenticated. So I think this is like a meta package for something, but oh, I see. They dropped the lib MySQL client, and they've replaced MySQL with MariaDB or MariaDB, which is literally basically like the same thing as MySQL. It's just open source. If you don't know like the whole history of MySQL and all that, basically MySQL was an open source project, and there was a MySQL company, and Oracle bought the MySQL company, and so people were worried that Oracle was just going to like completely destroy the whole open source nature of the project. So they forked MySQL into a new, I don't think I need these LD flags anymore, but I got the package built, so that's good. Anyway, they forked it. They created a new project called MariaDB or MariaDB. I don't know how it's pronounced, and it is actually like properly open source, whereas MySQL is kind of like enterprise open source, which means it's like semi-open source, but it's really just a tool for, you know, whatever megacorp to get more money, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you know, that's what it is. All right, compiling some source. Hopefully after this works, I'm not gonna have to run this compile compilation stuff again, which will be good. This is kind of annoying, having to recompile everything every time. It's a bit of a bummer, bit of a downer. But if I get this stuff sorted out, then we'll be good. Okay, so while that's happening, let's just work on the front end equivalent of this. So basically just do the same stuff, but this is gonna be footy front end, cd footy front end. I'm going to need to install yarn. So what is the canonical way to install yarn? I don't know. I usually just do brew install. Yeah, okay, that's what I figured. I can basically just copy and paste this. This should be fine. Okay, that will install yarn, and then I can do a yarn install. And then I can do a yarn build. Yeah. And that should be it for that stage. And then my last stage is going to be, so I'm just gonna use stretch again as my base image. Sweet, it worked. Okay. So let's just run Docker build again. Build should be much faster this time because I don't have to like recompile all this Rust stuff. Now it should just build the front end, and then in the last step, in the final layer. Oh dear. I need to install curl. Oh, this is not Debian based. I was trying to use Alpine. That's not going to work. So let me just. Actually, Alpine might work if this has yarn. Let me just see what happens if I like remove this stuff and then rerun it. just do an experiment. I can look up to see what's in there, but this might be easier. Also, Alpine might have a yarn package. Alpine yarn. Yeah, there is a yarn package, so I can also just install that. But never mind, it's already in there. It already has it, so I don't need to do anything. Sweet. ls CPU not found. Parcel ls CPU not found. It's trying to run some command, which I guess let's do this so we can get rid of that warning. And say 2 workers. Let's do that again. So now that I have like the earlier stages built, at least somewhat built, every time I iterate this and update it, it's gonna go much quicker, because it's caching these intermediate layers every time I run my Docker build. Sweet. That looks like it did it. All right, we are in good shape. Now the last thing to do is Docker multi-stage build. The last thing to do is to copy the binaries that I created. So yeah, I can't remember what the actual syntax is for this. Also, I don't want to use Debian. I don't want to use this Debian. What I want to use is OpenResty Docker. Let me see if they, okay, sweet. They have a stretch-based image, so I'm going to use that. I want to use OpenResty, which is a, OpenResty is an Nginx build, basically. And I want to run Nginx in the container so that I can separate the backend and the front end code and just like make it all work nicely. Using Nginx is a really easy way to do that. So let's create my Nginx conf for one. I have like other projects that I've used. For example, I have this thing. It's called Nginx Echo Headers. This uses OpenResty. It's just a really simple tool. This is something I created like years ago. It's just like a super simple and convenient tool for testing, like, I don't know, whatever you're trying to test, this will be good. Like for example, if you want to, if you're testing like putting something on Kubernetes and you want to make sure all of the load balancing stuff is working right and like the HTTP headers are what you expect them to be, then this tool, when you make a call to it, it just returns the headers you sent it in the response, and you can use it to debug various things. It's pretty handy. I've used it many times in the past. I had actually not changed it at all for like, when was the last commit I did? I mean, yeah, the last commit I did was like July of 2016. And then I just like recently updated it because I saw that there was a PR that was open that I didn't notice, because I'm pretty bad about keeping track of all the GitHub notifications. There's like, GitHub only has 2 modes for subscribing to notifications. There's like, you can either just like subscribe to everything, or you can individually like go to a repository and do like click watch and say watch that repo. And for a long time, I had just set it up to just like watch everything and notify me of everything. And then I was just getting like thousands and thousands of notifications that were just completely, I don't know, there's just no way I could keep up with it all. So then I eventually switched it so that I would like opt in manually, but now I have like all these repos all over the place, and sometimes people make PRs, and unless they like explicitly tag me in the PR or like assign the PR to me or request a review or something, then I don't actually get a notification from GitHub, so I never know about it. And anyway, recently I like went through and did like there's like ways that you can search through the PRs and stuff, and I think I found all the ones that were kind of open and I hadn't responded to, but not for all projects. I was only looking through like my personal repos. There's a bunch of like third-party open source stuff, and like I don't know, I just can't keep up with all that stuff. If it's not something I'm like really working on actively, then it's just way too hard to, you know, do that and do my day job and everything. So anyway, if I could like just work purely on open source full time, I would, but there's really no funding model or anything like that for doing that. Okay, so where are we? Let's do Docker. Yes. So okay, we need to do copy -- from backend builds. So from the backend build, we're going to copy the app foodie backend. Where would the target be? So if I do a cargo, so that's the front end, sorry. Where's the backend? Dev Rust foodie backend. If I do a cargo build -- release, where does it put my backend? I think that's gonna be in like backend target bin something. What did I call it? I don't even remember. Just gonna recompile it. See what it is. See what the binary is. It might also be like some platform specific thing in there. I don't know. Don't remember. Check in with my stream, see how we're doing. Well, hello, got a new follower. I didn't get a notification. How do I apologize to anyone out there who's maybe I haven't acknowledged. I'm still trying to figure out Twitch, so please bear with me. I don't have all the tooling that I should have yet. Okay, target release. There we go. Foodie backend. So I should just be able to copy this binary into. I'm just going to put it into user bin. That's good. I'm also going to need to copy the diesel CLI, which where would it have installed that? Let's just run. Let's just run this guy. Can I jump inside that container? Oh dear. Let's just tag this. Docker build .ht foodie. Oh, wrong directory. Docker build -t foodie. I have a syntax error. It's gonna maybe blow up. Maybe not. See what happens. Oh no, it's gonna recompile everything. It's even worse. Oh, it's because yeah, okay, I need to add a Docker ignore file here to ignore all the intermediate stuff. So I think I can just copy the git ignore to what is it? Docker ignore file. Is it lowercase .docker? Yeah, okay. Let's just try that. Let's do the same here. Copy .gitignore to .dockerignore. cd docker build. Whoops. Docker build. I don't know if that will work. Like, I don't know if it has to be at the top level directory. For the CLI, it was for a file named in the root directory of the context. Yeah, so that's actually not going to work. What I need to do is copy, move backend .dockerignore here, and then cat the front end dockerignore, and then just append that to this dockerignore, and just remove that dockerignore. And then edit this. Yeah, that should be fine. Docker builds. And now I think if I did everything correctly, we should be good. Should be ignoring that stuff. Although I'm concerned slightly about the syntax. Hold on. It says, for example, the patterns /foo and foo both exclude a file or directory named bar in the foo directory, foo subdirectory of path, or in the root. Neither excludes anything else. So I think it should be fine. Okay. I'm asking because, or I'm curious because, like, for example, there's the target directory and it's specified as /target/ well, anyway, I think it'll be okay. Okay. Open Resty. All right, I haven't configured Nginx in a while, but that's not a big deal. Where I need to figure out where Cargo would be installing the diesel CLI. It's probably going to be in like /root. What is it? Actually, let me look at the container. Docker Rust image. They might cargo install Let's look at the Docker file. Cargo home, user local cargo. Okay, yeah, so it should be in here. I should be able to just copy from user local cargo bin diesel. Is it diesel or diesel CLI? Diesel. And then just copy it to user bin. Cool. Let's do that again. Don't really change anything. Should just be a quick update. Just gonna copy this additional binary. Sweet. All right, let's look at OpenRusty. Do they have an example? Let's look at their Docker file. Okay, copy. So I should probably do this. I want to just replace that Nginx config with mine. And then for the most part, everything else I think should be just fine. Okay, let's do expose 80. And I think that should be good. Just update that. Run a build. Hey pup, how you doing? She's asleep. Doja's asleep. She's good. She's hanging out. Docker run. This isn't gonna work, but I just want to do it anyway. Okay. Oh, events section and configuration. Yeah. Where is the default config? That's what I want to look at right now. Stretch. This is the default? Yeah, alright. Copy this. This will just be my starting point. I'm not really going to change anything here. Just take out all these guys. I'm not gonna bother with like any of this stuff. Okay. Docker run-p include. I don't want that include directive. I don't really want to. I just want like a basic listen and copy this one. I want this. I'm going to use proxy pass, but I'm not going to use that one. I don't need this custom error page stuff. Actually, let's leave it in. Application slash. So I will use this soon, but not right now. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Surname localhost. Yeah. Okay. That's good enough. It's basically the minimal thing. Okay, and I need to copy the build of the front end stuff. So I'm going to do copy -- from goals front-end build, blub, blub, dist. Just gonna copy the whole directory to, I don't know, somewhere, workdir app /app. Let's copy it to /app. Copy from a backend stage. Copy from front-end stage. Okay. This is coming along. Let me build this, test that it runs, and then I'm going to take a little break. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hello to any of my new viewers. Hello to my new followers. Thanks for dropping by. I'm gonna take a little break. We'll be back.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
All right, I'm back. I had my microphone muted. OBS just froze on me for some reason. Anyway, I'm back. Let's pick up where we left off. Packetology asked if this is my first stream, and I only started trying to do this last weekend, actually. At first I was just streaming on YouTube, and yesterday I started trying to use Twitch. So yeah, I'm basically still figuring it out, see how it goes. Yeah, hope people like what I'm doing. If they don't, that's okay too. To each their own. Night mode. Oh, that's way more readable. That's way better. I wish GitHub had like a dark scheme or whatever. It's just like annoying switching from light to dark themes. But anyway. All right. So Dockerfile is mostly done. We have our multi-stage build here. It looks pretty good. It doesn't actually work yet. I need to actually finish the configuring Nginx here. Let's see. I don't need that include. Let's. I think that's good. I wonder if VS Code has an Nginx configuration. Sweet, it does. VS Code is pretty great, not gonna lie. Mostly because there are a million. Oh, there's no formatting. Doesn't matter. A million different extensions. There's basically an extension for anything. I don't like 4 spaces. It's too many spaces. Get rid of this. Let's do that. No. All right, never mind. I don't want to try to reformat this whole thing. All right, location/root. Where did I put my thing into? I put it into whoops. /app/dist, right? Index HTML. So let's build that again, try running. I should be able to actually, I think, see the front end very soon. So I was just snacking on some nuts. I got some tea, some fresh tea, Trader Joe's black Irish tea. I'm not, I swear I'm not, I don't get any money from Trader Joe's, if that's what anyone thinks. Definitely not. I just like their stuff. Okay, Docker run. Now I should actually be able to connect to this on port 80. Boom. All right, it's saying app.dist index.html not found. So I messed something up here. Let's just jump inside the container and see what's going on. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I just need to basically that dist directory is not getting copied in there the way I thought it was, but that's fine, doesn't matter. Just chop off dist, so put everything in /app, and I should have the diesel command in here, and I should also have my foodie backend. Okay. I also need to install a couple libraries inside here. I just need these guys. I'm going to do that up here. Apt-get update SQL 3 long. Let me just try this first and then See if that works. Come back to it. Okay. Install that stuff. Docker image apt-get cleanup. Whenever you do like apt-get update or whatever, you usually need to at the end afterwards go in and like clean out the temporary files. I can never remember what the path is. Yeah, here we go. So this is one step. You can also do apt cache clean like this. Sweet. So that'll remove all those temporary files, and I should be able to do Docker build. Docker build. It's going to take a little longer this time because it's going to do a whole like apt-get update cycle, whatever. Okay. So next thing I need to do is actually basically before Nginx is started. Oh, no, that's not gonna work. Let's see what the actual, whoops, habit, I'm already root, there's no sudo. I need to see what these packages are actually called. App cache search, SQLite 3, lib SQLite 3. Okay, -0, -0, cache search lib MariaDB. Lib MariaDB client 18. And then libpq, libpq5. That should do it. Docker build. Docker build ht foodie. Oops. Docker build dot. I need the path. I'm using my phone to monitor the stream right now. It's not ideal. Maybe I should use my laptop. I don't really have enough desk space. I'll just show you my desk. It's quite cluttery right now, but it's how I like it. My workspace is usually always kind of cluttery, just the way it is. Anyway, I also realized I forgot to change the camera angle. Whoops. I do that now. There we go. Now you should be able to see my screen. Okay, built that. Docker run. There's p8080 foodie latest. Refresh. 404. Did I save this? Thought I changed the path. Foodie it's supposed to be a meal tracker. So when the idea is I'll show you in a minute here once I get this working. There's like a bunch of meal tracking apps. Like you eat something and you put it in your log or whatever. You could like use it to track calories or something. I don't really expect anyone to actually use this thing. It's just there as a demonstration. All right, why something? I don't think my build actually finished because it's not actually, I think I tagged this image wrong. Anyway, it wasn't running the right version of the Nginx config. Had the path wrong again. I was still trying to pull from app dist, but I dropped this path. Yeah, you'll see it. You'll see the code in a moment here, or not the code, the thing. Oh dear. App cache clean. App get clean. Is it app get clean? Sorry, my bad. App get clean. Docker build. It's too hot to drink. Hopefully we got everything right this time. Yes, it looks good. Okay, Docker run. Now I should be able to see the front end. There it is, sweet. Okay, it's failing, but I expected that. And it's because I'm not really running the back end or anything in here yet. All right, I need to do that. And here's where things start to get a little more complicated. No, this is not it. Tiny init. Yeah, this is what it's called. I think what I want is to probably have something like this. Basically, I wanna run two different commands inside my container. One is Nginx, and the other is the backend. And does tiny init let you run multiple commands? I thought it did. So tiny init is just a tool for it's basically like an init replacement for inside your Docker containers. But options, subreaping. It may not actually do what I thought it did. All right, forget this for now. Basically, all I need to do is run the back end before. So probably the easiest way to do that is to just include a script inside my my image here. So let's look at the open rusty Docker image just to see what it's doing. Yeah, it's just doing command, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just gonna replace this command with my own. Well, all right, yeah, I'm gonna put a small script in here, a little entry point script. I'm gonna say touch entry point.sh. Okay, bin sh. Set-e, this tells the shell. So set-e tells the shell that it should echo all the commands it's running, like print them out, and -x means if any of these commands fail, then exit. All right, I'm just gonna run the back end like that out of laziness. Just fork it to the background. This is not a good idea because if the back end crashes, then well, this whole thing will fall apart. But this is fine for now. Hold on. Tonight multiple processes. Multiple. I want to use this, but I'm not sure if, let's see what they're doing here. Where's their Dockerfile image? Dockerfile. My init. They've got their own special init. What is my init? Oh yeah, they've like written a Python script. All right, I don't want to do that. Let's just keep it really simple. So, okay, I think the way to do this is to write a function and just call it, let's just call it run backend. Okay, and then this is going to be like while true, do foodie backend. And then like sleep 1 second, done. Okay, so what this will do is this will just run the backend forever in a loop. And if it crashes, it'll blow up. And then what I'll do is call run backend, and then this function itself will be forked to the background, basically. All right, so this runs as a background thing forever. It's just like a dead loop. But I need to do set plus x here. I need to set this. Actually, yeah, this isn't a good way to do this. Let me just put this after I run this. Yeah, that should do it. So this ampersand here, this will fork. This is just like a regular bash function. This will just be run as a fork. So it like forks off an entirely separate process. Gives us a nice bit of hello. All right, I think. All right, I think we're back. Thanks for letting me know that the mic was gone. I think the batteries died. I'm using I'm using these. It's like a Rode. It's called Rode Link. It's a lavalier mic system, wireless. It's pretty good, but unfortunately it is battery powered and it only takes 2 AA's So it lasts about, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 hours, something like that, and then it just dies, and yeah, kind of annoying. Anyway, there is a way to power the receiver from the USB bus, but then it doesn't have proper isolation on the power, so it makes like a terrible buzzing sound, and it's really not good. So anyway, I'm not sure exactly where I cut off, but okay, so here I'm using exec to replace the current shell, so it'll literally replace the bin sh process with user bin open rusty with, you know, whatever this thing is. I'm not sure if this is actually like the Nginx binary or if this is another shell wrapper or what, but anyway, exec will replace that and do its thing, and then it'll run my open rusty. Excuse me. So let's go to the Dockerfile. I'm going to change the command, and then my command is just going to be that script. I'm going to say app. Let's just put it in bin, user bin entry point.sh, and I will copy that guy entry point.sh to user bin entry point.sh. Pretty straightforward, whatever. Probably, I would say putting shell scripts into here is maybe not the coolest, but whatever. Doesn't really matter. It's just a Docker image. Okay. Copy entry point and Nginx config. That is that. I need to chmod the entry point, chmod plus x to make it executable, and then docker build that. And in theory, if I did everything right, which sometimes happens, this should work. I think I know there's a couple things missing. I want to like make incremental progress. One thing that is missing is that I need to copy over a couple of toml config files for the backend to actually make it work properly. I'll do that in a minute. Let's just see if we can get this running with derp. I don't think those parentheses should be there. It's been a while since I wrote a bash function or shell function like this. It's not really my preferred language of doing things. However, shell scripting is very widely supported and deployable. You can write a shell script. What is wrong with my shell while true? Why does this not work? While true. All right, I can just do it that way. While interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen it done like that. But that's an interesting way to do it. Just use colon, shell command. Shell colon command. What is the purpose of the colon bash built-in? Got it. colon is slightly better than true for portability to ancient born drive shells. As an example, consider having neither the bang pipeline operator nor the double bar list operator. Okay, anyway, see if this works. Jeez, Docker run. Latest. Whoops, I misspelled foodie. Can be a bit annoying working with something like Docker when you have like complex builds. This one is actually not that complex. It's fairly, I've like got it fairly well optimized in the sense that like when I make one change, I don't have to rebuild a bunch of stuff. Sweet. Okay. It appears to be working now. So the problem now is that the database is not initialized, which is kind of what I expected to happen. And I think what I'm going to do is just include a sample database in the code here. I'm going to say, basically, I already have a database in here. Rust foodie backend. Oops. ls. I'm going to copy this database. Actually, no, I'm going to make a new database. I'm going to say diesel migration. Let's call it sample database. So that'll make a brand new database, just called sample database.sqlite. And then in the Docker config, I'm going to copy that. Copy entry point Nginx config and db. Let's copy the backend, that database, sample database.sqlite, and we'll just put it in varlib database. No, it needs to be in the workdir. Database.sqlite. So now that I think about it, I want to keep that dist prefix because I don't want to present the database to the world externally. So I want to change the Nginx config here so that the root directory is /dist. This is not really like I just want to reiterate that this is not like a production grade way to run this generally, but you could. There's like, for one, if I were running these, I would not want to run this like weird setup with Nginx and the backend service running in the same Docker container. Oh no. Now because I made that change, I have to rebuild the backend build container stage. Oh well. All right, let that run. Anyway, yeah, this is not really the ideal setup, I would say, but you know, it works. This app is just literally just like a demo thing. I just made this because I thought it would be a fun thing to stream, and I literally only started streaming, you know, like, well, my first stream on Twitch was yesterday. Hello to Genso0. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hosting me. That's cool. Welcome to my new viewers. Thanks for dropping by. So something I was saying earlier when I had fewer viewers is I thought it would be really fun to maybe do a video series where I start going through interviewing problems. There seems to be like a pretty common theme where people are interested in what it takes and like what you need to do to actually get a programming job, which of course is easier said than done. It's difficult, to say the least. Part of the reason for that is like the crazy interviewing strategies that a lot of companies use. So anyway, I have a copy of Cracking the Coding Interview, the book. I'll show you here. It's right there. And I have can't really see it. I don't think I have actually opened this book, or maybe I've opened it, but I haven't read through it. I thought it would be fun, however, to go through the problems in this book. And yeah, I agree. Interviewing process is totally fucked. However, as a necessary evil nowadays, if you want to get a programming job, you basically have to be able to do the kinds of problems that are in this book. So yeah, I thought it might be fun to, whoops, fix the camera, to just like start going through those problems. I got my cables all messed up and live stream it. That's Doge over there, by the way. Say hi to Doge. Hey Doge. Good girl. She likes to sit there and just watch out the window, see the people walk by on the street and stuff. Still compiling. This is like a classic XKCD thing. Where's that XKCD compiling? XKCD compiling. I'm sure everyone has already seen this. Yeah. #1 programmer excuse. Anyway, okay. This is done. Yeah, she's very calm. She just likes to hang out. Docker run. It's not working. Oh, I think it is because I don't have the environment configured. How much experience do I have with Weasel or Diesel? Sorry, Weeb Wizard, Weeby Wizard. I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of experience with Diesel. I actually only started using it for the purpose of building this little demo thing. I don't really have a lot to say on it. It seems like a very young project at this point. There are like literally like a million different database ORMs, and I'm generally a fan of using database ORMs. It's also really hard to make a good ORM. You know, even with the best ORMs, at some point you end up just having to write SQL anyway. But you know, it takes care of a lot of the boilerplate. It gives you like properly typed, or a way to interact with properly typed models in Rust, which is pretty nice because that's kind of the point of using Rust. But you know, anyway, you know, I'd say give the project some time. It's kind of nice. All right, so I need to. The things that are missing right now are that I need to include the Rocket TOML and the Diesel TOML config files, and I also don't think I ever configured settings for production. Although this should be fine. What's in Diesel? Yeah, this is fine too. I don't think I need to include this. I'm just gonna copy the Rocket TOML into here, and that should be fine. Because all that's missing is that I don't have the path to the SQLite database configured there, I believe. Docker build. Yeah, I also haven't really done a whole lot of Rust at this point. I've read part of the Programming Rust book, and this is like the second project, or at least the second one I have on GitHub that I have made in Rust. The other thing was just a simple API wrapper for another project. I'll show you. The other one I made is this thing called CG Miner REST, and it's just in a Rust API wrapper for a tool called CG Miner, which if you follow the Bitcoin world at all or whatever, CG Miner is just a tool for running miners, basically. Okay. Sample database. What went wrong? Foodie backend. Oh, I typoed this should be .SQLite. This path. Run that. Docker's pretty great. Honestly, if I think about programming tools, or like more generally just like software tools, things that have really changed my life personally in the past maybe like 10 years even. I don't know if there's anything that has had such a profound impact in how people can do work to the extent that something like Docker has. It's pretty impressive when you think about it. Okay, so the backend is running. Let me just make sure that I can actually connect to the backend. So I just changed the port mapping. I should be able to go to port 8000 /v1, which means it should just return nothing. Sweet. So that works. 404 is what I expected. There's nothing in the database. So, okay. So the next thing is to change the Nginx config to actually proxy our API calls into the API backend. So I will just say location. I'm going to do location /v1 proxy pass. I wonder if it, so how does Nginx, when you use Nginx proxy pass, I'm not sure what it does with the path prefix, because I want to use like the /v1 on the API address path as my identifier or whatever. And sometimes these things will like automatically rewrite the path for you. Proxy cache path. And I think Nginx does what like automatically does what the behavior is that people would normally expect by default, which is that it would like if you're proxying something under the path /v1 to another backend, then it would basically remove that v1 prefix from the path header. I've been struggling Docker performance on Mac, even with Docker Sync. I haven't much. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I was talking about this earlier, but like the way that Docker on Mac works this here is literally launching a VM. And what is there's like a name. Yeah, it's a virtual machine. What is the Mac OS virtual? What's I don't remember the name of the native virtualization thing on Mac OS. Native virtualization. There's like a tool that you can use to view the VMs. This is just like the actual API. I don't know, it doesn't matter right now, but anyway, when you run Docker on Mac, this runs a Linux virtual machine on your Mac, and it's not terrible. Like, I would say it's fine for development on your local machine or whatever, but it's not really like a production way of doing things. And I use it all the time, but I wouldn't depend on it for like anything critical generally. Okay, rewrite. What is the default? So I think rewrite in Nginx is proxy redirect. Well, let me just try this actually the way it is with proxy pass and see what happens. That's the wrong port 8000. So Docker build. Yeah, I think like Docker is definitely kind of a life-altering tool for a lot of developers. For me, certainly. And Kubernetes is to some degree, although like I'm sure none of you like know anything about me personally, but I basically started working on a thing called Mesos, which was kind of like the thing that came before Kubernetes in open source world. Mesos is still around today, and oops, pup just dropped her bone. Mesos is still around today, and some people are still using it, but it's kind of fallen out of favor compared to whoops, wrong port. Docker run compared to Kubernetes. Kubernetes is like the cool trendy thing. Okay, port 80, failed to fetch. Yeah, don't care. My pup is now whining because sweet. Oh no, it is working. Okay, so it's not rewriting the path like I was worried it was. It might. Okay, cool. So that should work. So I have to change one thing in the front end, which is the base URL, because I just hard-coded the base URL. Let's do that. Footy front end, source, Meals controller, URL. So the URL should just be /v1 like that. I think. Yeah, let's try that. I gotta get my dog's bone. She just dropped it. Hip up. She likes to sit at the window and watch out, but she often will like drop her bone down and it falls in between the couch and the window, and she just sits there and whines until I go get it for her, which is kind of funny, but yeah. Anyway, all right, while that is building, let me just go into the front end thing and make sure this is doing what I want. I say I want it to make the API requests back to the same. Let's see what it's doing. Should be doing a get. Okay, that is messing up. Okay. Why are most of the Rust developers using Vim for main IDE? Yeah, I definitely hate the mouse as well. These days, I'm mostly using VS Code. Keep in mind, I still use Vim. I use VS Code with Vim bindings. Like, you know, I've been using Vim for like 20 years. and I have to admit that I'm a big fan of VS Code. It's really nice, and probably like the best thing about it. Oh, she just dropped her bone again. One moment. The best thing about VS Code is that it just has like a million different plugins and integrations, and most of them just work out of the box and do things well. So I don't know. It's just nice. I like it. Okay, why is that REST client totally messing up the calls? Yeah, I was like sort of using Atom for a while, but unfortunately it's just like, what happened? It's just so slow. Like, I don't know, I wanted to like it. I really wanted to like it, but unfortunately it just sucked, really. REST C. I'm using some REST client, typed REST client, and it's generating the URL in a really weird way. It's doing like :80/. Why is it doing that? C samples. Let's look at their samples. REST and HTTP tests. Get. Create. These samples don't help me at all. REST client. So it takes in user agent. Oh, just dropped your bone again. Pup, you're just gonna have to live with it. Base URL. It's kind of crazy that like both VS Code and Atom are they are what's the name of the framework thing? I forget. It's the Electron. They're both Electron apps, which is Electron is basically Google Chrome underneath, or at least it uses like V8, the rendering engine. And yeah, Electron. Thanks Weeby Wizard. But I don't know. Anyway, Atom is terribly slow, but VS Code is like, and it's not like as fast as something like Vim, let's say, but you get a really nice UI and like a ton of really good extensions, with the trade-off of like a slightly slower UI, like slower compared to like something like Vim. But I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it. So what is it doing to the base URL? Can I just generate my own base URL? What if I just do there's like a notation. Let's try this. No, this is not running. Hold on. Footy front end. Parcel. Do I like Rust? I've used Golang a bit, and at this point, I prefer Rust to Golang, like the language itself. However, no, that's even worse. The whole, hold on, JavaScript get base URL. Let's see if I can just do this. page location, window location. Path name, no. Protocol, port. I just want like, yeah, Rust and Go are nice. Go is, I think of Go as basically, Go is basically like C with garbage collection. Go is not bad. I don't really have like huge complaints about Go, although there are no generics. Window location is object, window location origin. Let me try that. Whoops. Window dot location. Origin. Yeah, you're right. Sweet. Window location origin. Yeah. Thank you. Unfortunately, when I change this, it's gonna make it so that the backend doesn't like run on its own, but whatever. Just deal with it for right now, and then come back to this. Window.location.origin. So v1. Make sure that's doing what I want. Network. Meals. Yes. Sweet. Yeah. Window location origin was what I wanted. Thank you, Turkish developer. Are you from Turkey or are you just Turkish? You don't have to say if you don't want to. Don't feel obligated. Just curious. I'm curious and you know about everyone's story, life story. Let's run this. Cool. Georgia. It's a pretty big tech scene in Atlanta, relatively. I've noticed that there's like more and more companies seem to be setting up shop in Atlanta. I've never really spent any time in Atlanta, just kind of passed through. Oh, Georgia, the country. I thought you meant the state of Georgia. Got it. I'm not even American, but I'm still US biased. I mean, I live in the US. I've been living in the US for like almost 10 years. It'll be 10 years later this year. But I guess I'm still, I just assume the whole world is America now. That's what happens. I'm from Canada. I grew up in Canada. All right, let's try it. It looks like it's working. I see the request to the back end. So I should be able to add a new meal. Let's say I just ate a turkey sandwich with a side of Georgia peach. Save. Boom. It worked. All right. I refresh, and there it is. So that is that. I live in New York, New York State, in New York City, on the island of Manhattan. That is where I am. All right. So that is working, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. Now, I'd love to solve the, I'd love to make it so that you can run the backend I'd I'd love to make it so that you can still, so like, because of the change that I made to that URL, right now, there would be no way to, there'd be no way to run the back end separately here. I wonder, like I want this to work. In front end, you can use Unix time, new datetime. I'm not sure which part of the code you're talking about with regard to the time there. Thanks for stopping by, Weeby Wizard. See you next time. Okay, I just lost my train of thought. Yeah, the front end's not going to work in like development mode in its current state because it's trying to, so like there's two ways to solve this probably. I don't like any of them though. I wonder if parcel proxy request. So parcel is the tool that I'm using to bundle all the JavaScript dependencies and stuff. But I'm not sure of the best way to handle that so that you can do this decently for development. There's a different time in front end, back end. Right. Yeah, I'm not super focused on the precision of the time. I think I'm satisfied with it just being okay for now. What are people doing here? New bundler. Parcels dev server automatically responds. Const bundler. Oh, Conky user. That's cool. Yeah, thanks. Conky, I'm like surprised every day by like the number of people who have used it or still use it. It's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, I've used Webpack too. These days I like Parcel more simply because Parcel kind of follows a convention over configuration pattern. So like with, I don't know, every time I've tried to use Webpack, it's just been like so difficult to get the config right to actually make it do what I want. I've always found it super frustrating to deal with. Parcel, on the other hand, not only is it faster than, I mean, it's usually faster, at least when I've used it, it's usually a little faster than, it's usually a little faster than Webpack, and it's usually a little, oh, I should just do this. Yeah, why don't I just do this? I can just, okay, this is way easier. I'm just gonna like wrap this with an if statement. So I'm gonna initialize this in the constructor. So basically I'll say this dot base URL equals Sorry. Lost my train of thought. Yeah. Parcel requires, it just requires like less work to get things going initially. Webpack definitely has, definitely has more features, no doubt. Localhost 8000. Okay, that's messed up. Let me just open that in VS Code. Because I haven't not bothered to make TypeScript work properly in Vim. Okay, so now, yeah, now if you're running this in development mode, so if you're running it on your, if you're just like running on the command, it's going to use one URL, and in production mode, it'll use another. So this should do what I want, generally, I think. Let's run the Docker build again. All right, I think this is like, it's getting into a pretty good state. Then the next thing I would do on this project, I think, would be to create a Kubernetes manifest. In fact, like I could create a Kubernetes manifest and some Terraform code to like run this thing on Google Cloud or something. I'd use Google Cloud just because I have, that's where I put my personal stuff, and I already have an account and everything. So it's relatively easier for me to do that. Sweet. Build is done. Docker run. Works. Add new meal. Cake. Save. Boom. All right. That is it. So I've added a bunch of new files. I need to check those in. Docker ignore, Dockerfile, entry point, sample database, Nginx. Yeah. All right, let me commit that. Add Docker, add Dockerfile, sample DB, git diff. Just looking at the diff quickly, scanning it. I put a couple other things in here. Maybe I should update the README. Add Dockerfile, sample DB, refactored JSX, TSX strictly. Let me say refactor components. All right, let's push that up to GitHub. It's about time I need to take a break. I gotta take my pup out. I've been streaming for like 3 hours now. She's gotta go out, take a little walk. I'll probably maybe eat something as well. There's still more work to do on this. I might pick up the stream again later tonight and see if I can make some more progress. Hello to all my new viewers and followers. Thanks for dropping by. I hope you enjoyed my streaming. And yeah, hope to see you guys again. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.